Hello, friends! Today we're going to be reading a book called Simonie and the Dance Contest by Gail Matthews, illustrated by Hinch. Simonie loved to read. He loved it so much that he practiced reading syllabics everywhere he went with Anana. He read signs in the stores, at the skating arena, and even at the health center. One morning, at the arena, they saw a poster that showed people dancing together. "What does that say, Simonie?" asked Anana. Simonie walked right up to the poster so he could see the words clearly. "Christmas Jigging Dance Contest," he read. "December 14th. Anana, it's the Community Dance Contest." The only thing that Simonie loved more than reading was dancing. He loved going to the community dance, where he could dance with his friends and neighbors. The contest would be just as much fun, maybe even more. Simonie was so excited that he danced part of the way home, imagining himself stepping across the dance floor in front of all his friends. When they got home, Simonie burst through the door. Atata, who was making dinner, looked up, startled. "Atata! Atata! This year I want to enter the jigging dance contest. Can you teach me some new steps? I have to practice," Simonie said. Atata laughed and promised he would help Simonie prepare for the contest. Over the next few weeks, Simonie practiced and practiced his dancing. He spun, he stepped, and he even tried hopping around like a hare. When he felt ready, he asked Atata to watch him dance. "That's good, Simonie," said Atata, "but you have to feel the movements and the music. They go together." Simonie wasn't sure what Atata meant. He knew he was already listening to the beat of the music and dancing in time to it. How could he feel the music, too? Simonie needed a partner. The next time he saw his friend Dana, he said, "I'm going to enter the dance contest. How about you?" "Yes, let's dance together," said Dana. At morning recess, when the sun came up and gave them some light, Simonie and Dana practiced on the playground. The snow was flat and crisp, so Simonie and Dana stamped out a circle and practiced dancing in opposite directions inside of it. It was hard work. The more Simonie danced, the better he got. But something was missing. He still didn't understand how to feel the music, like Atata had said. After a few days of practicing with Dana, Simonie saw his friend David at the arena. Simonie knew that David was a good dancer. At last year's competition, he had drifted across the dance floor like cotton grass blown by a gust of wind. Simonie wondered if he was good enough to dance like David. Feeling nervous, he said he was entering the contest this year. "That's so cool," said David. "Let's practice together." Simonie grinned and nodded. He couldn't wait to get even better. For the next few weeks, Simonie danced everywhere he could. He danced when he got out of bed in the morning. He and Dana danced together in the schoolyard. He danced while David sang or stomped a beat for him. But something was still missing. When Simonie met David for their last practice together before the contest, Simonie remembered Atata's words. "David, how do you dance so well?" he asked. David smiled. "I just dance the way the music feels," he said. When Simonie got home, he thought about what David had said. He turned on the music, closed his eyes, and listened, concentrating on the music and nothing else. He felt his body begin to sway as it responded to the music. He felt alive. He felt like flying. Simonie opened his eyes, stood up, and danced like he's never danced before. As he walked to the community center with Anana and Atata on the night of the contest, Simonie felt too nervous to dance. "What if I forget what to do?" he worried. "I used to get nervous when I danced as a little girl," Anana said, taking Simonie's hand. "Remember to enjoy the dance. Whatever is in your heart, express it." inside the community center. It was warm and bright, with Christmas decorations and lights shining all around. At the front, the musicians sat warming up their instruments. Simonie saw some of his friends from school sitting in a big circle. His hands started to sweat from nervousness. "Simonie," said David, nudging him on the shoulder. "Are you ready?" "I'm so nervous," Simonie confessed. "Don't you get nervous before you dance?" David smiled. "Just pretend we're practicing." The musicians began to play, and the MC called out the names. As their names were called, pairs of dancers came up and danced in opposite directions around the circle. People cheered and clapped their hands to the music. Finally, Simonie and Dana were called. Simonie felt a sudden lurch in the pit of his stomach. He ignored it, and everyone watching, and walked out into the circle. The music started, and Simonie began to dance in a counterclockwise direction around the circle, his feet jigging to the rhythm. Remembering David's words, he relaxed and let his body move the way the music felt. Simonie's arms flew out from his sides, his elbows bent, and his fingers spread. Feeling as though the music had caused something inside him to take flight, his arms moved like wings as he jigged around and around the circle. It was not until Simonie heard the quick phrases of the music that signaled the end of his dance that he noticed the crowd whistling and cheering. He and Dana moved off the floor and out of the circle as another pair of dancers took their place. Simonie was too excited to sit down. He found a Nana and a Tata at the back of the room, where they were watching the dancers. "You did so well, Simonie," whispered Anana, putting an arm around his shoulders. A Tata gave him a thumbs up. After what seemed to Simonie like endless other pairs of dancers, it was finally time for the winners to be announced. Simonie held his breath. The MC called out the third place winners. Simonie clapped and waited anxiously. The second place. Simonie was so nervous he even forgot to clap. "And the winners of the first prize," said the MC, smiling out at the audience, "are Simonie and Dana." Simonie looked at Dana and grinned. They raced to the front of the room to collect their prize. A Nana and a Tata cheered, and Simonie heard David yell, "Hooray!" After accepting his prize, Simonie moved through the crowd toward a Nana and a Tata, receiving smiles and pats on the back from his friends and their families. A Nana and a Tata both gave him a big hug when he reached them. "You learned to feel the music, Simonie," a Tata said proudly. "Merry Christmas," someone in the crowd called. As the call spread through the crowd and everyone wished their neighbors a Merry Christmas, the music started again, and everyone began to dance. As Simonie danced with his parents, he felt proud and happy, and most importantly, he knew he had danced his best.